Welcome to the Life Lecture Channel, Episode 7, How to Determine the Motives and Feelings of Others. Let's dive right in. Imagine you're close to a woman named Danila. She's your coworker, and you've been getting to know her for about 6 months. However, you suddenly get information from one of Danila's close friends that her ex is checking up on her again. You're left confused because you know that Danila's previous relationship didn't end because of her decision. It was her ex who ended it. From this, you can conclude that Danila still has some curiosity about her past relationship. You've also felt over the 6 months that she hasn't moved on completely. You start to wonder if it's all been in vain, if Danila gets back together with her ex. If you were to ask Danila directly if she wants to get back with her ex, she'd likely lie, either because she's still unsure or because she doesn't want to hurt your feelings. So, I'll provide some tips on how to determine the motives and feelings of others. The method is to ask direct, surprising, and straightforward questions. After you ask such a question, observe their face for 3 seconds after posing the question. Their facial expressions will reveal their honesty. And after 3 seconds, they may hide their emotions again. By practicing this, you can see their true emotions on their face, especially around the eyes and eyebrows. Within 3 seconds, you can gather the information you're looking for. Now, let's apply this to Danila's situation. Though this method isn't intended to manipulate Danila into staying with you, it will at least remove your curiosity. However, if you want Danila to stay with you, you can check my previous video about pigeons. I forgot the title. Let's imagine you engage in a conversation with Danila, and in the middle of it, you ask a direct and straightforward question. Her response will reveal the truth. If she becomes restless, avoids eye contact, blinks repeatedly, or exhibits unusual facial gestures, it means she plans to get back with her ex. Even if she wants to get back together, she won't openly admit it because she doesn't want to hurt your feelings. She might also want to keep you from leaving, but at least you'll know her true answer by now. Now, let's discuss this from the perspective of manipulators. This method is crucial for manipulators because before they can manipulate their target, they need to understand the target's motives or main objectives, what benefits the target and what they want. Without asking direct questions and getting straight to the point, if you start with something like, "I want to ask you something," your target will prepare for the next question, and you won't receive honest or necessary answers. So, the next tip for understanding your target's motives is to ask, "And then? But and what else?" Why is that? When you ask something to your target, and their response carries negative connotations, they will answer your question with seemingly good reasons, pretending to be wise, or offering strange and often self-interested explanations. These self-interests can often sound or appear evil. Try practicing this with a previous relationship. If you suspect your partner is cheating, never start with, "I want to ask you something." Instead, get straight to the point with, "Why have you been texting and calling that person?" They will likely respond with reasons that sound noble and wise, like, "Well, it's because we're in the same group for a college project." It's a good reason. Then ask again, "Is there anything else?" They might respond with, "Well, I didn't want to be rude. I didn't contribute much to the project, so I wanted to show that I'm active." Now you have the real reason. They were simply lazy and didn't want to participate in the project. But they faked it to appear active by continuously asking, "But, and then, and what else?" You can delve deeper to get the information you need. I'll provide 2 more examples. First, in a negotiation scenario, I was discussing a project with someone who had been giving very positive body language. I was convinced it would lead to a deal. They had a lot of money, so it was unlikely they'd refuse due to financial constraints. The discussion went smoothly from start to finish, but they didn't immediately say, "Deal." That's when I got curious and asked the direct question, "Are we making a deal?" They responded, "Yes, we are." "So," I asked further, "is there anything that's bothering you?" They answered, Well, you see, it's haunted. Here, we can conclude that they could have mentioned their discomfort with the place from the beginning. However, they didn't want to because they were embarrassed and didn't want me to think they believed in the supernatural. I suggested alternative locations and presented many options, but they ended up agreeing to a location I considered less strategic. Another example in a relationship context. I used this method to convince a friend I was getting to know to go on a vacation to Bali with me. At first, they complained and talked about being bored with their life, routines, and job. So, I offered, "Let's go to Bali this weekend." They declined, saying, "I don't have money." I doubted that because I knew they had the funds and must have had another reason for not wanting to go. Even if they didn't have money, I could have covered the expenses. So, I asked, "Is there another reason?" They replied, "Well, actually, I was invited to visit my family's hometown this weekend." But I declined. If I go to Bali, I'll feel guilty for not visiting them. So I learned that their main reason for declining my invitation was guilt toward their family. I suggested an alternative plan. I delayed our Bali trip by 2 weeks, creating a gap between their family visit and our vacation, and they finally agreed to go to Bali with me. So that concludes our lecture for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.